something that we've been talking about a lot recently is a tension, a natural and a good sort of tension between two things. And basically, those two things would be simplicity in our worship. Simplicity has always been such a high value for Vineyard music, and the old songs in particular really illustrate that. It's just very simple chords and melodies. And the beautiful thing about that is it's so accessible. People can lock into that right away and resonate with that and let their own worship be carried along by that. But something that we're feeling more and more is creativity and everything that's sort of outside the realm of the norm for people who are used to much simpler kinds of things. And an argument could be made to not even pursue that area, to just focus on simplicity. But I believe that if you cut yourself off from that, if you snap that tension, that ultimately the simplicity, for its own sake, tends to kind of spiral downward into something that is ultimately lifeless. Because when you're being simplistic just to be simplistic, it gets old and stale, and it ceases to really tug at the heart. On the other hand, if you go completely haywire with the creative stuff, usually what happens is people are lost. They don't know how to sing along. They don't know what to do when you're trying to do this music in a corporate worship setting. But to have those two things together, to have elements that are so just simple and pure and easily locked into, and then to have other things that inspire and capture the imagination. I had an English teacher one time who was talking about poetry, and she said the very best poems are the ones that you're never able to completely analyze and figure out. She said the best poems always tug at your heart, and you come back to it and you read it a different way, and it says something slightly different to you, or it has a line in it that doesn't quite fit with the others, and there's always something about it, there's an element to it that keeps it kind of a mystery and a kind of a puzzle. She says the reason those are the best poems is that the ones that do have a perfect analysis get filed away as soon as that's figured out. As soon as you're like, oh, I know completely what this poem is about, you just put it away. You file it in the back of your mind as something that you don't have to think about it yet. You figured it out. And man, in our worship times, we're just thinking about the mystery and the majesty of God, and just how huge, just thinking about God and our relationship to God, and how multifaceted his character is. It's like we're standing in one place and we're looking at God, and we can kind of see these aspects of his character. But when you come around to the other side and look, it's like, how do mercy and justice fit together, you know? I think that worship songs that are being written today really need to pay attention to that. To like, what are the ideas and the themes that people are going to be able to lock into again and connect with right away? And then what are the ways that we can illustrate things about God that are so beyond us that we'll never be able to figure out? I love my friend Marty's song on our album, Thousand Generations, Fall Into You, because musically and lyrically, it's this epic kind of journey that just starts you in one place with an idea that's kind of familiar to us. And then it just kind of launches off into this thing that's like, it's different than we've heard in worship, and it's good and it's appropriate because it's starting to kind of touch on things that we haven't felt or experienced before or aren't used to. And that's a hill that I want to die fighting on, you know, is taking people somewhere in worship to a richer place, to a deeper place, somewhere musically and spiritually, where people can experience a depth in the Lord that they might not have been able to find by themselves. That's what I would like for my music to do.